Hi, in this video I'm going to talk about Visual Studio Code and adding extensions to Visual Studio Code, and we will be specifically concentrating on Live Server extension, which will increase the productivity of web developers. First, let us install Visual Studio Code by going to code.visualstudio.com and downloading the package with respect to our operating system. So here there are two ways of adding an extension to Visual Studio Code. One by navigating to the extension tab and then searching for the extension what you are looking for. This is the Visual Studio Code Marketplace where you get all the extension which have been developed by other developers for your needs. So once you come here and type Live Server, you will get the extension and you can see install button if you're installing it for the first time. As I've already installed, it will not be showing for me. And the other option is you can go to the Visual Studio Code Marketplace and then search for Live Server extension on the web and then install. So once the setup is done, you can create a folder in your machine and then open it in Visual Studio Code. I have created a folder called first HTML file and then opening it in my Visual Studio Code. As you see, there are no files currently in my folder. Create one by one, which are required to get the basic skeleton to a project. I will create two files. One is index.html and the other is package.json. So here, the package.json is required only for us to tell the live server extension that this is a web project and not just an HTML file. Okay, let us add content to our index.html. By now, you should be seeing go live at the bottom of your Visual Studio Code. If not, do not panic. Just close the Visual Studio Code and open it and select the index.html file, then you will be able to see. So without wasting time, let us add the basic skeleton for any HTML page. Once you're done with the HTML file, you can just save it and then just click here. It will take a few seconds and then it will open the browser you have configured as your default browser. In my case, it is Brave. So what our live server extension does is it creates a server in your machine and serves the HTML and other content as getting served from the server. So as you can see, our HTML content has been printed out here. The best part of Live Server comes now, where it gives the privileges of hot reloading. So whenever we change the content of our files, we do not have to stop the server, run the server. Everything will be taken care by our live server. And as you can see, it is running in the port 5500. It can be configured in the settings. So without wasting time, let us add the content to our HTML and see how it reflects in our web page. So the moment I save the file, the contents are getting reflected, which is the coolest thing of Live Server. We do not have to worry about configuring the project, creating a framework or adopting any framework to get all these cool features. So we can directly develop static web pages using Live Server and increase our productivity. Makes life much easier.